Concealed within the undulating landscape of Ohio are enigmas far older than the state itself. Here lie the remnants of forgotten societies, mystifying earthworks and narratives that challenge conventional history. Come with us as we explore the truths of Ohio's deep past, from inscrutable structures to the lore handed down through the ages. Serpent Mound is Ohio's great prehistoric riddle. Within the sloping hills of Adams County, one of North America's most compelling and baffling archaeological constructions can be found. Known as the planet's most extensive effigy mound, this earthen structure stretches over 1,300 feet, snaking across a high ridge in the form of an uncoiling serpent. For generations, its colossal size, puzzling origins, and alignment with celestial bodies have fascinated archaeologists, historians, and spiritual pilgrims alike. For more than a century, investigators have been perplexed by the question of who constructed Serpent Mound. Initial theories connected the monument to the Adena people, who thrived in the region between 1000 and 200 BCE, a hypothesis bolstered by Adena burial mounds located nearby. Yet, recent radiocarbon analysis of material from inside the mound indicates a much later construction, around 1070 CE. This updated timeline points toward the Fort Ancient culture, which occupied the area from 1 to 650 CE, as the potential builders. Certain academics suggest the mound was a multi-generational endeavor, perhaps initiated by the Adena and later altered or finished by the Fort Ancient people. No matter who its creators were, Serpent Mound was undoubtedly more than a massive work of art. It fulfilled a ceremonial, spiritual, or astronomical role. Researchers have long observed the mound's orientation with key solar and lunar occurrences. The serpent's head seems to align perfectly with the setting sun on the summer solstice, and different curves of its body correspond to the winter solstice and the equinoxes. These alignments imply the mound could have functioned as a great calendar or observatory, enabling ancient societies to monitor the heavens and mark the seasons for agriculture and ceremony. Just as intriguing is the oval form located near the serpent's head, which has prompted many interpretations. Some see it as an egg, a symbol of creation and renewal, while others contend it may depict the sun, a revered icon in native cosmology. The serpent itself is a potent figure in numerous Native American traditions, tied to transformation, fertility, and the spiritual underworld. Its combination with solar alignments points to a profound spiritual comprehension of the links between earth, sky, and humanity. Deepening the enigma, Serpent Mound was erected on top of a 300-million-year-old meteorite impact site called the Serpent Mound Disturbance. This geological anomaly is one of North America's few ancient craters. Although it remains uncertain if the builders grasped the cosmic nature of this terrain, their choice to place the mound on such a distinctive formation has fueled speculation about advanced knowledge of Earth energies or cosmic phenomena. In contrast to typical burial mounds of that time, Serpent Mound holds no human remains. However, adjacent conical tombs indicate the location was part of a larger sacred landscape utilized by various cultures across time. The immense labor needed to erect Serpent Mound, shifting and sculpting tons of dirt without modern equipment, highlights its profound cultural and spiritual value. Today, the mound is a protected National Historic Landmark, managed by the Arc of Appalachia and the Ohio History Connection. It draws countless visitors annually who come to experience its presence, view it from observation platforms, and discover the ancient cultures of Ohio. The work to study, protect, and understand this phenomenal site persists, ensuring it remains one of the continent's most lasting prehistoric puzzles. Ultimately, Serpent Mound is a monument to the brilliance and spiritual depth of Ohio's ancient inhabitants. While many questions about its function and origin persist, its existence provides a compelling view into the worldview of those who walked this land long ago. Stretching across the southern portion of the state, the Hopewell ceremonial earthworks are one of the most remarkable accomplishments of pre-Columbian North America. This system of 8 ancient locations, recently honored as UNESCO World Heritage Sites, showcases huge geometric earthworks created between 100 BCE and 400 CE by the Hopewell culture. These astounding creations, which cover over 150 kilometers, display a profound grasp of geometry, astronomy, and societal structure that upends many conventional ideas about the ancient indigenous peoples of the Ohio River Valley. This network includes locations like Mound City, Sipe Earthworks, and the Newark Earthworks, which are not just simple burial mounds but intricate ceremonial grounds. The Hopewell fashioned massive enclosures shaped as circles, squares, and octagons, some extending hundreds of meters across, by meticulously layering soil with incredible engineering skill. The precision with which these earthworks were designed rivals that of the Egyptian pyramids or Stonehenge. One of the most amazing features of these earthworks is their orientation to celestial occurrences. At the Newark Earthworks, the octagon and circle align flawlessly with the 186-year lunar cycle, a feat of tracking the moon's movements that demands sustained observation and sophisticated astronomical insight. These alignments imply the Hopewell employed these structures as observatories or ceremonial calendars to time significant events like solstices and seasonal rituals. Beyond their geometric perfection and astronomical roles, these places acted as hubs for trade, burial, and ceremony. Archaeological digs have unearthed the cremated remains of individuals, intricately built tombs, and an abundance of artifacts, including copper adornments, carved mica, obsidian from the Rockies, and shells from the Gulf of Mexico. These objects testify to a wide-ranging trade network and a sophisticated ceremonial existence. Although the Hopewell culture waned around 500 CE, the earthworks they created continued to shape the lives of indigenous peoples for centuries. Subsequent groups, like the Fort Ancient culture, reused some of these sacred sites, maintaining a spiritual thread in the Ohio Valley. Our modern comprehension of these earthworks has greatly matured over the last century. Once believed to be the creation of a lost race, it is now accepted that they were built by the ancestors of today's Native American tribes. Their designation as UNESCO World Heritage Sites in 2023 is a major recognition of the legacy of North America's indigenous cultures. Today, these sites are overseen by the National Park Service and the Ohio History Connection, which work to protect and interpret these ancient landscapes. Visitors to places like Mound City or the Great Circle Earthwork can wander among these immense constructions, experiencing their scale, precision, and sacred intent. In the end, the Hopewell ceremonial earthworks are far more than just archaeological locations. They are monuments to a culture of profound vision, cooperation, and cosmic awareness. Through their meticulous design, the Hopewell people left a heritage that continues to inspire, offering us a glimpse into the spiritual and intellectual world of one of this continent's most extraordinary ancient civilizations. Tucked away in the hills near Granville, Ohio, the Alligator Effigy Mound is one of the most mysterious and sacred earthworks created by ancient Native American cultures. This singular mound, thought to have been raised between 800 and 1200 CE, is one of just two effigy mounds known to exist in the state. Fashioned into the shape of a sprawling animal, it is a reflection of the deep spiritual traditions of the Fort Ancient culture, its probable creators. While its precise significance is still debated, it is broadly agreed that the mound fulfilled a ceremonial purpose. Measuring roughly 250 feet in length, the mound depicts a creature with four limbs, a long tail, and an open mouth, appearing like a powerful guardian of the landscape. Although commonly called an alligator, this name may be inaccurate. Many archaeologists and native scholars suggest the effigy is more likely a mythological being, such as a panther, an underwater serpent, or a spirit protector. In Native American belief systems, such beings are frequently linked to the underworld, water, and spiritual power. Unlike mounds built for burials, this one contains no human remains or artifacts, strongly indicating its purpose was ceremonial. It could have been a location for seasonal rites, spiritual offerings, or sky watching. The mound sits strategically on a high ridge that overlooks the Raccoon Creek Valley, affording it a sweeping view of the area. This high placement accentuates its spiritual significance, perhaps symbolizing a connection between the earthly and spirit realms. The culture most linked with the alligator mound is the Fort Ancient people. While different from the earlier Hopewell and Adena, the Fort Ancient civilization adopted and built upon many of their ceremonial customs, particularly in mound construction. Building an enormous effigy like this one would have demanded the collective labor of a community, using basic tools to move tons of earth with incredible accuracy, a task that highlights the mound's societal and religious importance. Symbolism is vital to comprehending effigy mounds. In many Native American traditions, animal forms represent spiritual entities that guide or challenge human existence. The creature at Granville might stand for a guardian of the territory, a deity of the underworld, or a spirit called upon in rituals. Today, the alligator effigy mound is maintained as a public park and archaeological site. While it has garnered less fame than the serpent mound, it is equally important for its cultural and historical insights. The respectful preservation and education about this site are crucial, ideally involving collaboration with Native American communities who have ancestral connections to these sacred places. In summary, the alligator effigy mound is a profound monument to the spiritual vision and engineering prowess of the Fort Ancient people. Although its full meaning eludes us, its lasting form prompts us to contemplate the deep ties between land, culture, and the cosmos that informed the beliefs of ancient Native Americans. The ancient Marietta earthworks, found at the junction of the Muskingum and Ohio rivers, are a significant, though partially vanished, monument to the Hopewell culture. Created between 100 BCE and 400 CE, these earthworks once constituted a vast ceremonial center with platform mounds and geometric enclosures. While modern construction has heavily altered the original site, the features that remain still provide insight into the ritualistic and social lives of their builders. The Hopewell people are celebrated for their huge earthworks, advanced trade systems, and elaborate ceremonies. They prioritized spiritual observation and death rites, expressing these values through monumental landscaping. When first surveyed in the late 1700s, the Marietta complex included large platform mounds and enclosures connected by processional pathways. The most prominent surviving features today are Capellium Mound, a large flat-top platform mound, and Coney's Mound, a burial structure located in what is now Mound Cemetery. These remnants were saved by being integrated into the city's early design. Capellium Mound likely served as a stage for ceremonies or leaders, possibly supporting a wooden temple. Coney's Mound, still intact at about 30 feet high, is thought to be a tomb for high-ranking individuals, a key element of Hopewell tradition. These burial mounds often held exquisite grave goods like copper ornaments and obsidian tools from distant lands, proving a wide-reaching trade network. The location of the Marietta earthworks at the meeting of two great rivers was almost certainly deliberate and symbolic. Many indigenous cultures viewed such confluences as sacred spaces where natural and spiritual worlds converged. Sadly, much of the complex was lost to urban growth over the last 2 centuries. Today, the surviving portions are protected in parks and cemeteries, with historical markers to educate visitors. The preservation of Mound Cemetery, home to Coney's Mound, offers a unique space where the burial customs of ancient Native Americans and early American settlers are side by side, creating a layered historical narrative. In essence, the Marietta earthworks are a potent, if incomplete, legacy of the Hopewell ceremonial world. These ancient mounds remind us of an era when the land itself was a sacred canvas, reflecting the spiritual beliefs of one of North America's most inventive indigenous cultures. Located in Licking County, the Newark earthworks are among the most phenomenal examples of ancient indigenous architecture and cosmology on the continent. Constructed by the Hopewell culture between 100 BCE and 400 CE, they once comprised the largest connected set of geometric earthworks in the world and are now a central component of the UNESCO World Heritage designation. comprising several key elements: the Great Circle, the octagon earthworks, and the right earthworks. This ancient complex demonstrates the Hopewell people's advanced understanding of geometry and astronomy. At its peak, the site covered more than 4 square miles. The Great Circle earthwork is almost 1,200 feet in diameter, with walls rising 14 feet high. Its central mound may have been used for rituals or as a platform for leaders. Even more astonishing is the octagon earthworks, a connected octagon and circle that spans nearly 50 acres. Researchers have found that its layout aligns perfectly with the 186-year lunar cycle, tracking the moon's major standstill. This demonstrates a level of scientific and spiritual achievement comparable to Stonehenge or the Egyptian pyramids. The Newark earthworks were not just monuments, they were living sacred spaces. The immense effort needed to build them with only simple tools speaks to their central importance. Excavations have uncovered exotic materials like obsidian from the Rockies and shells from the Gulf Coast, suggesting Newark was a major center for both ritual and long-distance commerce. Today, the site is preserved by the Ohio History Connection. While much of the land has been developed, parts of the octagon even lie within a country club. Efforts continue to ensure respectful access and preservation. In conclusion, the Newark earthworks are a profound symbol of ancient Native American ingenuity and astronomical skill. They represent a sophisticated worldview where the cosmos, landscape, and human ceremony were deeply intertwined, leaving a powerful intellectual and cultural legacy. Mound City, situated along the Scioto River in Ross County, is one of the most important archaeological sites of the ancient Hopewell culture. As part of the Hopewell Culture National Historical Park, this dense concentration of burial mounds offers invaluable knowledge about the ceremonial life and beliefs of the people who thrived here between 100 BCE and 400 CE. The site consists of a 13-acre rectangular enclosure holding 23 conical mounds of varying sizes. Their deliberate arrangement suggests ritual or cosmological planning. The entire complex was built with immense precision using only basic tools, reflecting the importance of community cooperation in Hopewell society. What makes Mound City unique is its clear purpose. Excavations have shown the mounds were built over charnel houses, wooden structures where bodies were cremated and prepared for burial. After the ceremonies, remains and grave goods were interred, and an earthen mound was raised to honor the dead. The artifacts discovered here are among the most elaborate ever found at a Hopewell site, including intricately carved pipes, copper breastplates, and obsidian blades from distant lands. These objects held deep symbolic meaning and demonstrate the Hopewell's participation in a vast trade network. Mound City provides strong evidence that the Hopewell were a network of communities linked by shared beliefs rather than a centralized empire. The site likely served as a regional ceremonial hub for funerals and social gatherings. Though damaged during World War I when it was used as an army training ground, the site has been largely restored. Today, it serves as a historical landmark and a place of remembrance for Native American communities with ancestral ties to the Hopewell. In the end, Mound City is one of the most complete examples of Hopewell mortuary practice, providing profound insights into a culture whose legacy continues to shape our understanding of ancient America. In the fertile valleys of Ross County, the CYP earthworks stand as a powerful monument to the architectural genius of the Hopewell culture. Part of the larger network of ceremonial sites, CYP is especially remarkable for its scale and its massive central burial mound. At its core is CYP Mound, an enormous conical structure that once stood about 30 feet tall and stretched over 240 feet long, making it one of the largest Hopewell burial mounds. Excavations show it was built in stages over wooden mortuary structures used for cremation rituals, complete with elaborate grave goods like copper ornaments and obsidian blades from faraway regions. Surrounding the mound are the remnants of a huge geometric enclosure, originally a nearly perfect circle about 1,200 feet in diameter, connected to a square. This layout reflects the precision and symbolism found at other Hopewell centers. The site's immense scale suggests it was a major ceremonial hub, used for funerals, rituals, and seasonal gatherings, with possible astronomical alignments. The burial remains found within the mound indicate social stratification, and the artistry of the artifacts speaks to a highly skilled society. Today, much of the CYP earthworks has been preserved as part of the Hopewell Culture National Historical Park. Interpretive trails and exhibits highlight the complexity of Hopewell ceremonial life. In conclusion, the CYP earthworks represent one of the most ambitious and sacred landscapes created by the Hopewell, revealing a people deeply connected to spiritual tradition and the cosmic rhythms of nature. Tucked into the landscape of Pickaway County, the Arledge Mounds provide a rare look into the world of the Adena culture, one of the earliest mound-building societies in eastern North America. These ancient earthworks, formed by two joined burial mounds, are unique among Ohio's thousands of mounds. Instead of the typical isolated conical shape, the Arledge Mounds form a figure-8 or peanut-like structure, a feature that is exceptionally uncommon. This distinct design has sparked scholarly debate, suggesting they may have been built in phases to honor different events or individuals, or perhaps to reflect a symbolic duality common in Native American cosmology. Like other Adena sites, these mounds were likely built over prepared charnel houses where bodies were laid to rest before the structures were covered with earth. While not extensively excavated, similar sites reveal grave goods like stone tools and copper ornaments, indicating spiritual beliefs and social structure. The Adena culture is considered the foundation of mound-building traditions in the Ohio Valley, influencing later groups like the Hopewell. The construction of conjoined mounds like those at Arledge showcases a sophisticated understanding of engineering and symbolic form. Currently, the Arledge Mounds are on private land, which limits public access and archaeological work, but has also protected them from development. They are a remarkable example of the complexity of ancient indigenous architecture. Their rare design offers a tantalizing glimpse into the spiritual life of a civilization that laid the groundwork for centuries of mound-building traditions. Deep within the hills of Vinton County lies one of the state's most enigmatic ancient earthworks, the Ratcliffe Mound. Rising 14 feet high, this circular structure stands in quiet solitude, far from the ceremonial centers typically associated with Ohio's prehistoric sites. Its unknown origin, unexplained purpose, and remote location make it an enduring archaeological puzzle. Unlike many of Ohio's mounds, the builders of Ratcliffe Mound are unidentified. Its shape is consistent with burial mounds of the Adena culture, but no definitive artifacts have ever been recovered to confirm this link. The mound's isolation further deepens the mystery. Most known mounds are near rivers or trade routes, but Ratcliffe sits alone. Was it meant to commemorate a single person or event? Was it a boundary marker or the last remnant of a lost settlement? To date, little excavation has occurred, largely due to preservation concerns and its location on private property. Without formal study, researchers can only speculate about its function. The mound's ambiguity is precisely what makes it valuable, as it challenges assumptions about prehistoric life in the Ohio Valley. It underscores the diversity of ancient Native American societies, many of which left subtle yet profound marks on the landscape. The Ratcliffe Mound serves as a compelling reminder that Ohio's ancient history is preserved not only in monumental sites, but also in quiet, overlooked places that continue to provoke questions and invite deeper inquiry. Overlooking the Mill Creek Valley from the crest of an ancient esker in Hamilton County stands the Burchell Mound, a modest but compelling piece of Ohio's prehistoric heritage. Though only about 8 feet high, this unassuming earthwork commands attention through its strategic placement and its likely connections to both the Adena and Hopewell cultures. An esker is a long, winding ridge formed by glacial meltwater, a relatively rare landform. The decision to build the Burchell Mound atop such a feature reflects deliberate planning, providing a panoramic view that likely held ceremonial importance. In ancient indigenous belief systems, Elevated locations were often seen as closer to the sky world. Building a mound here may have symbolized a connection between earth, water, and sky. Although there is no consensus on who built it, its isolated position fits with Adena patterns, while reuse by the Hopewell is also possible. What makes Birchall notable is not what's been found beneath it, but where it stands. The mound is also historically significant as one of the few surviving mounds in the Cincinnati area, where urban development destroyed most prehistoric sites. Its survival is a testament to the efforts of local historians who recognize the importance of preserving these ancient landmarks. Today, the mound is on protected land, part of public outreach initiatives that aim to reconnect communities with Ohio's deep indigenous past. The Birchall Mound stands as a profound symbol of ancient people's relationship with the land, spirit, and sky, a quiet but enduring landmark inspiring reflection on the sacred landscapes of ancient America.